Good afternoon, Facebook. It's past noon now. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. I have a question about that. I'm not really, the concept of Thanksgiving, what we were taught, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue and their first Thanksgiving, they literally did cannibalism because they didn't have enough food. I don't know if that's something to be thankful for, that we have to eat our own kind that has died from disease and plague. I don't know if that's a lie or not now, because everything we've been taught in school is either skewed or complete BS, including religion. Like, my dad used to read me the Bible all the time. I was his favorite. He spent a lot of time with me. And I thought that they were great stories to live by, and that's why I lived by them. I was like, oh yeah, I need to be a good girl. I need to, love thy mother and father and honor thy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, I just absorbed what was being told of me. And since I understood the words, I was like, okay, I be good, so I be good. And another thing is I'm like, even though I was always on like the bunk bed, I was on the top bed, like with my little sister and I think my brother until I got to a certain age. I always like made the bed. I took out all the creases, put the pillow the right way and everything. My mother was very militant and my father was in the military. My mother's German Romanian. So, growing up, there was a lot of structure. 6 a.m., get up, 6:15, get your clothes on. By 6:45, you already ate and were out the door, to go to school. Like it was very, very structured. And there was no deviation. My mother was very good at routine. And sometimes I can follow routine, but then I get bored with routine. I'm not going to lie. And then after being targeted, I found out routine was my enemy, which was great because after a while, I got sick of routine anyway. So I was like, perfect. Now it's an adventure. Let's see how chaotic I can be with still having my own concept of organization. And it worked perfectly. I just wanted to talk about my time in New York, and I talked about it earlier, and then I kept on going off on a tangent, and then this stupid phone, cut my thing off because I don't have a lot of memory, so I can only put so many minutes of videos on here. Everything is doing really well. I'm having breathing issues because I'm allergic to his cat, and then I had the door open, but where my buddy lives, they're freaking weirdos, and they're the devil themselves, especially the guy that he's renting from. Very ugly person, and I think he is RAPing his child in his house here. I really do. I heard her screaming like 2-3 days ago, and it was very methodical. It was very the same time, and it went on for minutes, probably 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then I finally walked outside and said, "Are you RAPing a child in there?" And then it got quiet. Because kids play a certain way. But only a genuine person that cares about children will understand the difference when they hear them screaming. Kids scream and playful. It wasn't playful. When I walked back in, she started screaming again. I walked back out. And then I sat out there for a bit. And then it was weird. And then his wife was looking out of the window, but everything was dark inside. It was 9 p.m. at night. Everything was dark. Anyway, I digress. Going back, when I came to New York, my first night I actually found my buddy, and I had prayed to God and said, I'm tired of people that are asleep, that are NPCs, that are demonically possessed, that just have negative tendencies that I just don't want to deal with. I don't have the tolerance. I really don't. I'm pretty cutthroat. I am. What I understand is my main planet is Uranus. Somebody said in a tarot card reading recently that Uranus is a tyrant. You know what? If being a tyrant keeps me at peace and helps other people, I'm okay with that tyranny. If you define it as that. Just a conceptual ideology. Anyhow, going back. Yeah, so my first night here, my first day here, I think I got here at 3 p.m. after coming from Denver. I really wanted to stop and see Carol in Colorado Springs. And I haven't talked to her. I need to call her. Anyway, but long story short, my first night here, I just kind of explored. I went to karaoke, which was cool. It was a karaoke room. So I got 2 hours, had a beer. It was nice. And found out how long it's been since I've sang, because I'm out of tune. Not out of tune, but I have areas that I struggle at that I didn't struggle at before. But I don't have anywhere to sing right now. I don't have anywhere that I feel safe, so, it's kind of SOL. Anywho, so yeah, and then after karaoke, I was probably around 11 o'clock at night. I ended up on the train. When I got here, I decided to go to Queens because I saw some of my other targeted individuals in Queens, so I was excited. And then I found out that they had moved on to California, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going back to Cali. So I was like, well, I guess I'm in New York. I don't know what you want me to do here, God. And so I fell asleep on the bus. I keep saying bus. On the train. I fell asleep on the train. Somebody wakes me up and says, are you okay? You want to come home with me? There's a guy. And at the time, I didn't feel anything negative. So I was like, sure. So we get off the train. He actually buys me dinner at like midnight. And we talk for a while, like probably a good hour. And then we go to his place, and that's where I'm at. He's married. He's an illegal immigrant. I have a feeling that either his wife, who's an alcoholic and druggard, who also was targeted because she was molested and RIPE'd by the owner of the house that he's renting from right now as well. But she seems to be on good terms with him. I don't know if she's doing it for money, because she's in a very low place. But yeah, so she's come here a couple times. He changed the locks. He does not want her here. And but she was in here one time. Like while I was here. So I think right now she hates my guts. I don't know what she looks like, but I guess she's like a Russian woman. Whatever. I really don't care. Some blonde lady. I don't care. He and I are the same age. But then literally the third day I was here, his behavior, very childlike, very repetitive. Then all of a sudden trying to tell me how to do things, very simple things, as if I don't know how to do them myself. And I told him, look, don't talk to me like that, And then he tried to impose himself sexually on me, and I was like, don't touch me. If I tell you not to touch me, don't touch me. Well, what's the problem? I said, because I don't want it. If I tell you I don't want something, don't do it. And that became a really big thing. I almost got physical with him a couple days back. Like, I wanted to physically fight him because he penetrated me while I was sleeping. Like, he was about to leave, and then he penetrated me. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get away from me. Oh, and I said, would you like it if somebody just grabbed you? Some guy just grabbed you, you down there? No. And I said, exactly. So if you don't like it, don't do it to me. You didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. So stop it. And he's been good ever since, but I still want to punch his lights out. Because it's, I don't know what's wrong with people. But aside from that, I told him I'd help him with his citizenship, and it's really easy. Like, all he has to do, I already sent him the link. All he has to do is fill out the link, and he'd be good. But he doesn't want to do it. He wants to have a business, but he doesn't want to put the work. Oh, you help me. No. I already gave you the information, bro. All you have to do is press a link. I even found all your information for you. All you got to do is press a link. All you got to do is go to the website and do it yourself how I showed you. Or how I put the steps in for you. You don't need me. I hate when people try to impose what they need to do on you, And then I ran around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to go to like multiple banks yesterday before Thanksgiving. And it was like, I can't get a debit card. I'm like, darn. But Carl Huff messed it up for me with PNC because I can get a debit card at PNC. But right now, there's fraudulent activity on my thing, so they have to check everything. But, whatever. Anyway, but I do know good things are happening. Like, I'm really excited Things are coming together. I didn't waste all of my day, but it felt like a waste because I spent the whole, oh my God, I spent the whole day walking. I think I went to 5 different banks. And then I was like, well, I need to get to a library and, do this paperwork, but I need a debit card to use so I can do the paperwork online, and I have the money to do the little stuff, but no, don't have a debit card. And in order to get a debit card, I need a P.O. box. And if I get one at the post office here, it's $71. Aside from the fact that I have my mail staying at the post office in Phoenix, Arizona right now, any mail that's being sent to me, and they're still stealing my mail. Wow, even the post office does not comply with federal regulation. But, being a targeted individual, that's what happens. Anyway, what else? What else? Yeah, so right now for Thanksgiving, I guess we're gonna eat some chicken. He got some chicken. He told me he has no money, but he was able to buy some chicken. And I know meat's expensive. He has like 3 big things of chicken. This is gonna be interesting. I don't know if he's gonna have his girl here or what, because I've been seeing in some tarot card readings that he's gonna show me his character. I really don't care as long as she leaves me alone. Like I really, because she can have him. I'm not even attracted to him. I wasn't attracted to him when I met him. Not attracted now. Definitely more inclined to even be friends with him, especially after seeing the character he has, and then trying to impose, you need to help me. I don't need to help. I don't need to help you do nothing. My life is situated. Mine is just about a matter of time and a little bit of work. That's it. So it's just it's interesting how people think you owe them. Anyway, I just wanted to state that there's still a lot of energies, like my little sister, my brother, and Richard, still in my energy. I feel for Richard, you poor soul. And you were cloned, so you're a hybrid now. You're not even the real Richard that I fell in love with. They took you. Oh, man. When I moved to India, when you moved to India with me, it was almost a whole year. We had already been together. So when they took you out and a week later, whoever you are now came around, I knew it wasn't you. I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about any of this. And then, as targeted individuals, these people are so ugly because these are hybrid people. They don't have souls. They weren't born with souls. They were just born in this reality, imitating the original that was taken out. The Richard Chavez I knew died in India. Well, in Palm Desert. He died in Palm Desert when he came with me. That's how I feel. And I truly believe that. And I do believe I'm at fault for that. Partly. Because I knew that I was being, gang stalked. I knew that the government was watching me. And I still brought him into my life. I really felt like I was the plague. And after realizing what they had done to him, they literally took him out and put something else in his place, put a puppet in his place. I knew that that wasn't him. He already had demons he was fighting, but to take him out and to put something else in his place, that person was not him. He acted very different. The Richard I knew was very emotional, very insecure, and looked at me like a mother, like he looked at me for emotional stability. And then afterward, that Richard, he was tactful. He was clever. He was more composed.